Welcome to the Point Second Podcast. My name is James Keeley. With me, as always, is Sammy Schaefer. How are you, Sammy?
Feeling good, James. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Kind of up and down today. A lot of stuff. We'll talk about that in a second. This is episode 10 for Tuesday, October 1st. It's October. It's Halloween time.
Yeah.
You're going to have to put on some clothes finally.
I know.
But they're fun clothes.
It's okay. I'm okay with that.
So it's worth it. I know you love Halloween. We had some great Halloween episodes last time.
Yep.
Sammy, normally we screw around on here, but we actually have some legit breaking news. Let's get right to it. Breaking news. All right, Sammy, we film on Monday nights, and this just happened. What is the breaking news?
Baseball legend Pete Rose has died at the age of 83.
Yeah, I finished watching a documentary on Max on him.
Yeah, that looks good, too.
It's worth watching.
Okay.
He's complicated, but he's done his time.
Yeah.
Like, give him a break. If he's a little rough around the edges, he definitely had some things come up in his past, and there were some allegations of underage girls and whatever. That's a legal thing. There's a lot of bad people in sports.
Yeah.
If you're judging based on character, I think you erase a lot. You erase Ty Cobb. You erase a lot of people that are in the Hall of Fame that have some complicated past personally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Rose is the hit king. Finished with 4,256 hits. I got that off the top of my head. You were very impressed.
Impressive that you were able to pull that number. Like, how many was it? I think it was like 4,256. I'm like, that's not a guess. That's exact.
I have a memory for the most ridiculous, dumb stuff, and then I sit around and I'm like, why have I not done anything like useful?
I haven't discovered anything that like gets rid of cancer or anything.
Yeah.
But I can tell you Pete Rose's hit number.
Whatever capacity I have in my brain is for dumb stuff. I'm a failure. Anyways, what do you think about Pete Rose? In your opinion, you're a pretty forgiving guy. Yeah. Now, he gambled. He broke the rules.
Yeah, but I, like everybody says, I mean, he gambled on his team to win.
He gambled on his team to win.
So to not allow him into the Hall of Fame because of something stupid like that, like, I get it. You got to follow the rules, but to hold that against him his whole career, I don't agree with that.
The punishment did not fit the crime. No. Okay, and let's not get into his past. He had he had allegations of being with underage girls and yada yada yada. That kind of tainted his stuff, and that added fuel. And they said, well, he wasn't that likable and he wasn't contrite and all this stuff. Let's talk about the owners.
I'm sorry, but likability should not be a factor in the Hall of Fame.
Not at all.
It should be skill based only.
He broke a rule. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the rule has changed now. The MLB is sponsored by gambling institutions.
It is, you're right.
So you can't be that much of a hypocrite and say he gambled and he did break the rule and he did his time and he went to jail for tax evasion. He's done his time. Yeah, now he's dead, and I think you disrespected the game by not allowing the hit king in there.
Because I feel like they're going to give it to him posthumously, but they should have given him his credit when he was around. I mean, that's unfortunate. He couldn't see that in his lifetime.
It's a sin. It really is. I'm on his side. I met him a couple times. He used to have a restaurant in Boca Raton.
Oh, that's awesome.
Called Pete Rose Ballpark Cafe or something like that. Always charged for his autograph. Always showed up. They call him Charlie Hustle. The guy worked his ass off.
Oh, I believe it.
Always signing autographs. Always making money. Always out. Love the action.
But part of that is why he was such a good athlete, because he worked.
He worked
I'm
his
sure
ass
he
off.
played just as hard then as he works now.
We'll lead into some stuff because there's a Tom Brady piece I want to get to later too,
okay.
And just talk about people that were at the top of their game because they were wired differently.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Are we going to deny the fact that Michael Jordan definitely gambled on a lot of things?
He talks about it openly.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going to say Michael Jordan doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame? Pete Rose belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Especially because like most baseball people that don't even watch baseball in any capacity know his name.
Yeah.
That says everything about him you need to know.
I think, and we're going to get into this too, the owners and the group of these good old boys who decide, they hire a commissioner, and the commissioner says, but it's all like through their, they have a lot of influence in that thing.
They just, that somebody else is making, it's bullshit.
But you don't become a billionaire by being a nice guy.
No.
They do it breaking the backs of people. They do it becoming slumlords. They do it doing all these horrible things that are not good for humankind. So I was going to get to it later, but there's the hurricane relief, and all these owners on the ticker, it said, The Atlanta Falcons owner donates $2 million to hurricane relief. Carolina Panthers owner donates $3 million to hurricane relief. Just think how much money you have where you could just throw that around like that. First of all, it's a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So it's not like this doing it out of the kindness of their own heart. But maybe give the fans a break.
Mm-hmm.
If you have millions of dollars to give to charity, why don't you just, maybe every beer doesn't have to be $17.25.
Cut the pricing on tickets a little bit.
Cut the pricing on tickets. Make it affordable for fans that can't do it. For a family of five, for me, a family of five, going to a Bears game, it'd be more than a mortgage payment.
Sorry, kids, no dinner tonight.
No
We're
dinner
trying to
tonight.
Go to the Bears game this weekend.
And you bring a kid to a game and they want to get a hot dog and some popcorn and all this stuff. My point is, these guys are such hypocrites. They are bad people themselves. Pete Rose he's like, I think we're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to win, and I'm betting on us. And I don't think that messes with the integrity of the game one bit.
Not at all.
Maybe you could say, oh, he's going to burn out a pitcher because he's got a better pitcher. But you're trying to win. So does it influence it? Maybe a little bit. I just think he served his time.
He couldn't shave points or anything. He was just playing. He was betting to win.
No. And he did his time.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he was going to be suspended for a year, and he was suspended for the rest of his life.
That's insane.
And he applied for reinstatement. He applied for all these things, and he begged for forgiveness. And he said, I'm an old man. Let me in. I deserve to be in. And he did. And now he's dead. And shame on the MLB for doing this. It's sad. It leads, for a sports pop culture podcast, it really makes you think, like, what kind of a world is this where there's no forgiveness, but, like, they do the wrong things.
Oh, absolutely. No, they're not good people. They are terrible people, the owners.
They forgive based on certain things. There's a lot of guys out there that were arrested for abuse, did horrible things.
Michael Vick, dog.
Michael Vick.
Ring, he gets reinstated. Gets paid millions to get reinstated.
Gets paid millions. I don't know if he'll be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure if his numbers are anywhere near where they needed to be on that but where's the line?
Yeah.
You broke one rule, and now these people, and everybody knew gambling was happening. Yeah, he shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
Okay? He should have been punished. He should have been shamed. He did all that.
Yeah.
Okay? And now he's dead, and you took it away from him. Shame on all of you.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah, again, weird, kind of a weird guy. He was never unfriendly to me. Got his autograph. He was liked. He brought a lot of joy to people because he was excellent at his game, and he's a sportsman.
Yeah, it was because there's always stories of famous people being jerks, but I don't ever hear that about Pete Rose.
Oh, I do.
Oh, do you? I haven't.
But
that's funny.
He's kind of a likable jerk.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of like, but he's, you have to be arrogant to be as good as he was at something.
Yeah.
You have to say, I don't need time with this jackass. I don't need this or that, blah, blah, blah. So, whatever. There's a lot worse guys that done a lot worse things.
Yeah.
And they got statues of them everywhere. Ray Lewis has a statue outside the Ravens game, and I like Ray Lewis a lot. But he's got a complicated past.
Yeah, he does.
The year after he was accused of murdering two guys after a Super Bowl party, he was a Super Bowl MVP. You think that was easy on those people's families?
Oh, man, seeing him get that award.
And he's doing a little dance. Look at that. That was a perfect Ray Lewis dance. I'm going to be accused of being in blackface because I did that so perfectly. Everybody's like, is that Ray Lewis? No. It's the host of the PTP, James Keeley. Sorry, everybody, for being a perfect mimic. All right. That's breaking news. Sad. There's a lot of these deaths going on today.
Yeah, there is.
All right. Rest in peace, Pete. You were a hell of a ball player. I'm sorry they did that to you. All right. What's next? Oh, wait. Sammy, what else is on the show?
All right. Okay. Mr. McMahon can't be stopped. The PTP gets the Bears a win. And Roll Tide Roll.
Roll Tide Roll. I almost flubbed that. We got it all back. A real improviser here.
Go.
Let's do it. Sammy, episode 9.
Yeah.
Sweeping the nation.
Absolutely. Taking off.
Sweeping all 65 viewers. But everyone's liking Giwi.
Giwi's a big hit. It really is. I like it a lot.
I love hashtag Giwi.
And it's I want to change my life philosophy from FOMO to Giwi.
Yeah.
I think I need to.
You're at that time.
Yes.
When you hit 35, when you hit life events.
Yeah.
Okay, when I started having children, I'm like, I love these kids so much. I can't believe that this part of my heart has opened up,
Yeah.
and I can get out of so many things I don't want to do by saying I got the kids. I got like what a bonus.
You know, I unfortunately used to have a dog. I use that excuse. Like, oh, I got my dog this week and I
Yeah.
can't. You know, and I so I get it. I like having an excuse. Now it's just Kiwi.
Yeah. COVID without the government interference and control was fantastic for me.
Yes.
No germs,
Yeah.
isolation, lots of TV watching and drinking on the couch.
I didn't see you for years.
Yeah,
during
I know.
COVID.
I was doing well. I mean, not mentally, but I was well rested. Well rested. Didn't have to touch anybody. Just like, hey, you know. I even wore those stupid masks for a while because I was like, I know this is control and this is not necessary, but
I'll do it anyways.
I'm in because I don't have to shake hands.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't have to shake hands. But they're like 15 days. I'm like, do 30.
Yeah.
And they're like 90. And I'm like,
Keep it rolling.
And then they're like 4 years. I'm like, ah, we went too far.
You doubled down too many times.
We went too far.
And you bust.
You know, in Illinois, we were locked down pretty hard. Florida, they were like, we don't care.
Yeah, Illinois.
All my friends were like, nothing's changed here. Nothing's changed in Florida. We almost moved back. It was the whole thing. Keep up that Giwi. I think people think if they tag my stuff, hashtag Giwi, they're going to get parlay tickets. No, you have to say, it has to be one of your friends. They threw a party. They didn't invite you. And you put hashtag Giwi, you send that to me, and we'll set you up. I got shirts, I got PTP koozies, hats,
Yeah,
and parlay
it
tickets.
can't be a fake Kiwi. It's got to be a real one.
No, it has to be something that they're posting. You thought they were closer friends with you, or their wedding or something, and you Giwi them.
Yeah.
And I will, you'll be on the show, you get whatever you want. Like, that needs to be their slap in the face of, hey, you know what? You didn't invite everybody. This is a little bit obnoxious. I thought we were friends. Giwi.
Yeah. So
All up
screw
in your
you.
face. Hashtag Giwi. You sent me something, a Diddy article, and you were like, this is how FOMO turns into Giddy.
Oh,
Giwi.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Giddy.
You know, Kiwi on those Diddy parties for sure.
Yeah, because they were like, oh, I missed the Diddy party. Oh, the white party. Oh, snap. And now they're like, oh,
Yeah.
Giwi.
Everybody's got a case of the Kiwi right now.
Giwi. No one, yeah. You didn't, I mean, you're probably going like, I wish I was invited. And then you hear Meek Mill, and you're like, I'm so glad I was not invited.
When they woke up and they remembered that the night not seeing Diddy on top of them.
Yeah.
Kiwi all
And
the way.
turn it around and be like, oh, it's Diddy. What you doing back? I know what you're doing back there.
Oh, come on, Diddy.
Again?
Shame on me twice, right?
I just had to try Cristal. And look what happened. Ugh, damn it, Diddy. The game day drinks, that pickled beer.
I mean, I've been telling people about it because it's so bad you have to talk about it.
We're gonna have people on here. I have 3 more in that fridge. I'm gonna buy more if they have it because people have to know. Like some people are like, your expressions on that. I'm like, none of those were contrived. They were genuine.
I honestly thought I was going to throw up.
It was very
later that night. I had to go home and lay down.
Oh,
It
I
was
did not
so
feel
bad.
well the next day. I mean, I probably had 20% of the can.
Yeah.
Woo!
But I will be bringing 6-packs to parties.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. It's a great conversation starter.
Yeah.
But it's awful. We're still waiting for our What's Wrong with Sammy date.
Man, that's like the story of my dating life right now. I just can't get a date to save my life.
We need someone to go out on a date with Sammy and then review him.
Yeah.
And figure out why and give us honest feedback on why you think he's still single.
Come on, help me out, guys.
We'll
help
pay
me.
for the date. You don't have to film anything.
My mom will pay for the date. Hell.
His mom will pay for the date. You can or cannot. You can get to any level of nudity that you are good with.
You don't have
Zero.
to be on the pod. You don't have to come on the episode live if you don't want to.
No. Maybe you like it. Maybe it's your thing. He'll show you his tattoos. He's got a tramp stamp. He's a grown man.
I do.
With a tramp stamp.
I am,
We're
yep.
going to show that later. Maybe next episode. And then we'll pay for it. All right. People are asking us for our advice all the time. Ask the PTP. It's blowing up. We got a question for you. All right. Ask the PTP. All right, Sammy. What's the question on Ask the PTP?
All right. Is it okay to throw your trash away in somebody else's trash can as you walk by when it's out at the curb on trash day?
Oh.
This is by Applejack7513.
Thanks, Applejack7513.
Thank you.
This is an etiquette question.
Yeah.
I love etiquette questions.
Mhm.
It's not, because we're getting a few real Weisenheimers, like, why are you guys so lame?
Yeah.
What happened? What happened to your youth?
Why are you guys such soy boys?
Why are you such soy boys? What happened to your youth? We did get a lot of questions
Yeah.
about you driving home naked with that guy.
I didn't see any of those, really.
They were on my personal text. There's a lot of suspicion about you.
We even stopped for food. We went through a drive-through fast food joint.
Oh boy.
Anyways, back to the question. Come on.
Back to the question. Is it okay to throw your trash away in somebody else's trash can when it's on the curb on trash day? It's not advisable. I don't think it's good. Okay, a lot of people throw doggy do bags in there, and sometimes those things can like slosh around in there. The last thing you want to do is like clean something out of a bin. Some people are very particular about their bins too.
I'm sure you are.
I'm very particular about my bins. I don't, because if you throw like random trash in there, a napkin, it's just going to go to the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. The squirrels eat the tops of our things. It rains in there. It's gross. I don't want other people's things. It's not that egregious, but I think it's definitely a thumbs down for me.
Now, to me, all day, go for it.
Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's a trash bin on the curb. Now, I agree. Like, if you're gonna pick up your dog crap and put it in some, make sure it's tied properly because that is gross. But why are you so protective of your trash bin? And it's home. I'll gotta admit it must be homeowners because Eric's kind of like that. He's like, yeah, someone's been throwing stuff in my trash bin. Yeah. You're like that. I do it all the time.
I'm sure you do it, but you don't own a home.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, that's the difference. I don't own a home, so that could be the difference, but it's just a trash bin. Who cares?
I know, but it's like your thing. You know what I mean? It's like...
That's your thing? I mean, you could pick other things that could be your thing besides your trash bin.
It's just my property. I pay for it. It's expensive, and I don't want to have to, like, do somebody else's work. I'm being a little bit of a trash Karen, which I kind of like that term. Trash Karen.
Trash Karen, there we go.
But here's what happened. We have a neighborhood email list.
Yeah.
And we got this email from this nice woman who lives 2 blocks away. She goes, I hate to do this, but can I please ask? We have the big the big dumpster.
Like the construction dumpsters?
Yeah.
Like they're doing work on their house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, we're getting a rehab project done.
Yeah.
And we got the dumpster. Can you please stop throwing your doggy bags in there? Because it was the summer. It's like, it's the heat of the day. The wind is blowing in. It smells so bad.
Yeah.
Like, even with our doors closed, it smells awful.
But this I agree with, because that dumpster might sit there for a month.
Might sit there for a month. Yeah. It'll attract rats.
That's different. They paid extra for construction debris. I agree. Don't throw anything in there.
Yeah. If you have a bag and it's bagged up and you put it in there and blah, 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 I think you're fine. Mm-hmm. But some people don't. And they'll throw... Because people can't get away with it. They can't do anything right. Mm-hmm. All right. I was sitting outside of a sandwich shop, and there's a little like stream there, and they got a sign that says no swimming, no fishing, and no what else was it, like diving or something like that, something ridiculous. Like, why does there need to be signs for everything? Why does there need to be a sign in a bathroom that says employees must wash their hands? Yeah. Like, people are stupid, so you can't be like, hey, this is for everybody. Yeah. This is community. Like, we have drinking fountains that people used to use back in the day.
Yeah.
Insane. I've used them before. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's actually surprised you used to use those.
If I could go back in time like Marty McFly, I would just shove myself out of the way. like if there's a bus like bearing down, I'd be like, don't drink that fountain. I remember being a kid, I drank out of a hose a few times.
The hose. Oh. But I think the difference though in Chicago, there's just dumpsters in the alley. Maybe that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
It's not like it's being pulled next to my house or something.
It's like another thing where people are entitled to. Because if like you have a kid with an ice cream cone, you're gonna go by and they throw it in there and there's ice cream everywhere. It just ruins it. So people just can't be trusted. So
okay.
My response to Applejack 7513 is it is not okay to throw your trash in somebody else's can.
So, I'm giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm taller than you, so I win. All right.
Pulling that card, huh?
We're split decision.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's etiquette. If she asks about strippers, you win. So you're good. No, it's not okay. What's next? College football picks. All right, Sammy, college football. We had a bad week last week, so how do we do this week? What's the first game?
Let's find out. First game, North Carolina at Duke. We took the over at 56.
Yeah, the game before North Carolina got absolutely whacked, 70-50 for James Madison. James Madison came back again and had like a giant offensive day last week. And Duke beat Middle Tennessee 45-17. I'm like, this could be a trap game, but I like this over. What was the final, though?
Duke 21-20.
That's not even
No,
close.
it's not near 56.
NC was up 17-0 at half, and it just seemed like we were not getting there.
You said 0 going into the half. You know your host.
0 going to the half. And then North Carolina ended up losing the game. They're up 17-0. They scored 3 points in the second half and lost 21-20 for the game. All right, 0-1, but we're not going to let that get us down. What's the next pick?
Stanford at number 17, Clemson. We took that over at 57.5.
I can't get enough of these totals. And a lot of totals were hitting. Mm-hmm. And I circled a lot of games, and I do process elimination. I'm like, what are my top 3? Mm. So I tried. The first one didn't go that well. How did this next one go? We need 58 points. What do we got?
Clemson 40-14.
So that's 54. That's not 58 at all.
Oh, man.
That's not 58 at all. Yeah, so 0-2. This is starting to get soul-crushing about this point.
It's a rough Saturday so far.
Yeah. What's the last one? Our third pack. We got to go 1 for 2.
Number 2 at Ohio State at Michigan State. Again, over at 48.
Yeah. Okay. So this was 24-7 at halftime. 31. All we need is 17 points for a push. Need a little bit more. 38-7 at the end of the third quarter. All we need is 3 points for a push or more. 38-7 in the third quarter. What was the final?
38-7. They didn't score 1 point
in the fourth quarter.
My God. That's suspicious. You know, like for them to be 3 points off the line and then that 1 point in the fourth quarter.
I would say you're right if I haven't done this 10,000 times.
I mean, suspicious, like how do they know? Like how do they get that close? I don't think anybody threw the game.
No.
But how do they know?
I don't know. I don't know how they get these close on these. Yeah. There were some good games this week. We didn't pick any that were profitable. Friday night. University of Miami, I go, to Kitty, and she's like, what do you mean Michigan? I'm like, God, you would not survive well in Florida. If you said, who do you mean and Michigan and South Florida, you'd be run out of town.
It would kill you.
You'd be run out of town. Midwest girl. So the University of Miami squeaked one out against Virginia Tech. It was a touchdown reversal, the final play of the game. Ooh. Guy catches it, they call touchdown.
Yeah.
And then they see at the end, like, he bobbled it. And they were, Miami's number 7. And Virginia Tech is unranked. They were 17.5-point dogs.
Wow.
So I think they were just like, if there's any way we could reverse this, let's do it. And they did.
Wow.
So, yeah, Cam Ward is a Miami quarterback. He's a transfer from Washington State. He's putting up a lot of numbers. He went 24 for 38, 343 yards, 4 touchdowns, threw 2 interceptions, but he also ran for 57 yards and a touchdown, 5 touchdowns. So he's got the second shortest odds for the Heisman. I don't really bet Heisman guys unless they're long odds, like a 30-1, 20-1 or something.
Someone's going to pay if it hits, right?
Yeah, so he's 5-1, but if he gets injured, we're done, And then he's followed by dual threat Travis Hunter from Colorado at +7-1. Seems like there's only 2 or 3 people in this. The favorite to win the Heisman is a quarterback for the University of Alabama.
Ooh.
Did you watch that game?
Nope.
Do you know who won?
No. I didn't watch any football on Saturday.
Jalen Milroe is +250 to win the Heisman after beating Georgia 41-34.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Moved Alabama from number 4 to number 1.
Wow.
The top 5 now is Alabama. We leapfrog Texas. They're number 2. Then we have Ohio State, Tennessee, and Georgia. It's getting interesting, Sam.
Okay.
Milroe had a huge game. We were up really big. We were up 30-7 at half. I think. Yeah, 30-7 at halftime. Yeah. Milroe went 27 for 33. Doesn't pass a lot as much. He's much more of a runner. But he threw for 374 yards and 2 touchdowns and 1 pick in this. Huge. He kicked ass. He also ran 16 times for 17 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had 4 touchdowns on the day. It was all there for us. Why didn't I take Bama getting points at home? Why didn't I take Jalen Milroe props?
That's like you all day.
I blew it. Bama a home underdog and I didn't take it.
I'm so shocked.
I don't know. I don't know why I can't focus on this.
What was your thought process last week?
I just thought Georgia's going to get us, and why add on to this? But Milroe, I should have looked at the props. I didn't come out till later. I was very busy, a lot going on, and I was just like, let me just stay away from this game. What was I thinking? 0-3 for week 5, 5-10 on the season college football. Not great. Not great. Let's talk some NFL. It had to get better, right?
Yeah.
God, please.
NFL picks.
I mean, the NFL had to go better.
We just had to have.
Did you watch much NFL?
I did, actually, yeah. I stayed home and watched NFL.
What'd you get into?
The Bears. I watched the Ravens last night.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was rough. I saw the first half and I gave up.
Yeah. I was kind of looking through X. We could follow us at Points Taken Pod.
There you go.
Brett Weinstein likes everything I post.
He's the best.
He's the man.
He's our best Twitter follower.
He's the only one that likes any of my pics. But luckily, not a lot of people are following them because they're not going well. But I keep seeing like NFL stuff. Tons of like really violent, aggressive fights in the stands.
Oh, I didn't see anything about that.
Oh my God! Yeah,
They must have been talking about Chicago because there's always fights in Chicago.
I mean, I didn't see that. I saw the Falcons game.
Yeah, Atlanta sounds right.
Atlanta's quite violent.
Yeah.
Just California Raiders games.
That's so bad. Well, you know what? Maybe the Raiders fans are just upset because they're losing their team, so they're just fighting with everybody.
I know the Raiders are in Las Vegas now. I was saying California.
Oh, that's true. I'm
games
sorry. I forgot they're in Vegas.
But
I'm thinking of baseball.
But yeah, I mean, like the Niners games, all this stuff. Like it's just ugly. I don't know. Why isn't the NFL? They have all this money to donate to charities and all this stuff. Protect your fans. Hire better security. I've seen the security that work these games. It's a lot of like old people volunteers that need something to do.
Yeah.
Like if you're going to sell that much alcohol to people, get these people that drunk and let them watch a gladiator sport, you need to protect like the families in the stands. I don't like going to games anymore.
Oh no, absolutely. It's nasty out there.
Yeah.
You know, but the part of the problem is like you get kicked out, you get a letter that states that if you get kicked out a second time, you're no longer allowed at the stadium. But most people that are fighting, they aren't actual ticket holders.
Have you gotten that letter before?
Oh yeah, I have. Absolutely. I was in the drunk tank for sure.
You get a letter.
Yeah.
You get a letter. Please don't come back. One more strike, Sam.
Because it was a season ticket holder gave it tickets, and they got the letter, and I had to apologize to them because they got the letter stating that they might get their tickets taken away. I did. I felt bad.
Oh boy! And who were they? Were they family friends or something?
A friend of the family. Yep.
You told this story that you've been in the tank before.
Yep.
The
Several
letter.
times.
That's great.
But that's not going to stop somebody from fighting that butt ticket off a StubHub. They don't care.
Yeah. No. But that needs to be like handled right away.
Like cops need to go right into the back of a squad car.
Right. Yeah.
Just immediately.
Hire more off-duty cops. Pay them well. Let those cops treat the drunken fighting fans like they treat Tyreek Hill at a routine traffic stop.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a safer environment.
They need a paddy wagon. They just keep throwing them in, and when it's full, they run those to the police station, drop them off, come back, and just keep filling it up.
Yep. The event staff at these games is a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke, and they just call the cops. I know there's off-duty cops at work, and that's how they have to eventually like handle this stuff. But you need to protect the fans. People are getting hurt.
Yeah.
I saw one, and the guy's down, and this guy just starts stomping his head into the concrete.
And over what? Because they had a different jersey than you're wearing?
Right. Different. So what did you get into your fights for, Mr. Virtue Signal?
Okay. So I didn't get into a fight. True story. My twin brother Eric caused the scene.
Okay.
He went down to get a beer when security showed up, and they came after me. And they didn't believe me when I said, I swear it's my twin brother. It wasn't me. And they're like, get the hell out of here. You're gone. They
funny.
would not believe me, but that is a true story.
Was this because somebody was like saying something? Did he just come back from Afghanistan or something?
He was back shortly. I mean, he had a couple of years when he just caused problems. That's just part of it.
I saw a few of those.
Yes, you did.
I saw a few of those. I still love them. Lots of action there. Did you see Patrick Mahomes threw a pick and then he tried to tackle the guy that he threw the interception to, ended up ruining.
Oh, I didn't. I did watch part of the game, but I missed that.
He throws a pick, and then he goes to try to make the tackle so the guy doesn't have a pick six on him.
Yeah.
While his top receiver is trying to make the tackle, and he plows into Rashee Rice's knee, and I think he tore his knee out for the year. It looks like it.
Terrible.
Still coming out. But he went low on the other guy, ends up jacking Rashee Rice's. So
quarterbacks don't know how to tackle.
And Mahomes is such a head case that he can't have a pick six on him.
And honestly, you've seen him in the locker room. He is not built for that kind of physicality.
No.
He's built like a dad.
All those quarterbacks need to run away.
Yeah.
They just need to get out of the way.
Give up the 6.
Yeah, give up the 6. Baker Mayfield got in a little hot water with Tom Brady. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear about that.
Basically, Baker was on a podcast and he said, after Brady left the Buccaneers, they wanted somebody who was a little more fun, a little more easygoing. They wanted a little bit of less stressful team. So now we're back to having fun and getting back to just enjoying the game more. And Brady called the game and they brought it up to him, and is he petty? He goes, I'm sorry. I thought, what did he say? Something to the fact of like, I thought not having Super Bowl rings was stressful. And he's like, basically like, the stress is from being a loser like you, Baker.
That makes a good point.
He goes, if I want to have fun, I'll take my kids to Disneyland. He goes, Super Bowl. He goes, I came in with the attitude of a champion, and that's why I won the Super Bowl there. And that the team spent a lot of money on players like Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski, and I didn't think it was right for me to not take it seriously and all this stuff. And he really trashed him pretty good.
He makes a point.
I agree with him. I want my quarterback to be furious when he loses.
He needs to be there to play to win.
Yeah. Yeah, and not dabbing people up after and going, what club are we going to later? We'll get you next time. Nope. I want it to ruin his week.
On that salary they're getting paid, they need to be watching tapes immediately after the game when they lose.
We'll talk about the salaries in a second here.
Yeah.
But Brady, he's right. It's like we talked about with Pete Rose. It's like these guys are wired different, but they're the way they are. They're the successes they are because they're wired different. I mean, Pete Rose is just an action junkie, needed to be doing something, type A. Always doing something. And Brady's like, I'm sorry, you're not going to say anything negative about me, Baker Mayfield. You're on your third team. You were the number one picker in your third team. I was a 7th round pick, and I have 7 rings.
Oh God, 6 with one team as well.
Yeah,
like nobody can't talk about Tom Brady.
No, he's a Michigan douchebag, but he's right. What was our first game, Sam?
All right, Cowboys at Giants. We took the over at 44.
Okay, I thought Dak was going to put up some points. What was the final?
Cowboys 20-15.
I was wrong.
You were wrong.
I was wrong. They put up some points early. They didn't do much. Dak went 22 for 27 for 221 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not great. He makes $60 million, okay? I'm not saying he dogs it, but they gave him some weapons too. They pay a lot for that offensive line. They had to go kind of cheap on running back because CeeDee Lamb needed his money and Dak needed his money. I never liked when these quarterbacks go, well, why can't you surround me with more players? That's the Aaron Rodgers thing.
Yeah.
You need to get me more players. You need to get me a better offensive line, but you also need to pay me an outrageous salary so that nobody will fit in that salary.
So anybody good can't get paid.
Yeah, and Rodgers tanking it for the Jets yesterday, losing to the Broncos. That was delicious. I was hammering my Jets fans on that one. But Dak making $60 million and they're not doing anything. So it added to it that I bet money on them. How dare you? What was the next one?
Rams at Bears. We took the Rams +3.
And what was the final, Sam?
Bears 24-18.
You're welcome, Bears fans.
Yeah, there you go.
My ineptitude at picking games is the reason you won that game.
Start fading us quick, guys.
Fade to fortune.
Yeah.
On X at Points Taken Pod. I'm going to post my picks on there.
Fade to fortune. I like this.
Go the other way and enjoy those winnings. And I'm going to be borrowing some from you at some point.
I mean, I hate that we lost that pick, but I like the way the Bears looked.
Yeah.
They look like they're coming back strong.
I did it.
You did? Yeah, that's all it took.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Bears faithful. 0-2 in NFL. 0-5 for the week. Or are we going to go 0-6? What was the last game, Sam?
I'm going to go down a little bit for me, please.
Vikings-Packers?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Vikings at Packers. We took the Vikings +3.
Okay. How did we do?
Vikings 31-29.
They won outright. I'm a genius again.
Yeah, there you go.
So smart. Yeah. The mind. Jesse the mind. Yeah. But look, it was, what was it? It was 28-7 at halftime. Vikings were up 28-7 at halftime. So I'm like, this is easy street. Thank God. And then it got real tight. 31-29. It was not good. Not good.
Makes you sweat a little bit.
Yeah. Sam Darnold, he's comeback player of the year. I mean, if he keeps this up, he went 20 for 28, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he threw a pick. But he's been great. He's got Justin Jefferson, but he's on like his 4th team. Mm-hmm. But he's killing it. Sometimes you got to wait around for these guys. The Jets never let him develop. They scrapped him so they could take Zach Wilson, who's I think he's out of the league. I don't know. Garbage. Mm-hmm. Really played terrible. What the Jets need to do is draft a quarterback and get a veteran mentor quarterback to play for a couple years in front of him. But nobody has patience for that. They want the golden boy. Yeah. And in that environment, they never succeed. Even Rodgers, who is a great Hall of Fame quarterback, not doing great there. And that's a pretty stacked team, too. So they're not doing good. There's trouble in paradise there. They're going to have to maybe fire some coaches to appease the stupid fans there. But yeah. Jordan Love's back. He had a really quick recovery after like a nasty, ugly looking MCL injury. He went 32 for 54 for 389 yards, and he threw 4 touchdowns. He also had 3 interceptions, but he's going to put up some big fantasy numbers, and I think he'll get the Packers into maybe a playoff run. So yeah, Vikings are 4-0, and the Chiefs are 4-0.
It's funny because in our division, it was everyone was talking about the Packers and the Lions preseason. You know, no one was thinking Vikings were going to go 4-0.
No, they're looking nice. The coach has got them on the right track. They're like, oh, they're going to draft J.J. McCarthy. This was what I was talking about. Draft a rookie and then put some sort of veteran in there to mentor him. Well, that's what they're doing, but Sam Darnold's he's running that offense really well, and he's still very young. So Vikings and Chiefs are both 4-0. The Seahawks are 3-0. They're playing tonight, so we'll see how that goes. Redskins are 3-1. They're on top of the NFC East. Buccaneers are 3-1 on top of the NFC South. Buffalo dropped to 3-1, but they're still atop the AFC East. The Ravens, they look good. They're back on. They went 0-2, and now they're 2-2. Okay. The Steelers are on the top of that division. But yeah, it's getting interesting. The Redskins, yeah, that game did. I looked at that game, and I should have looked at it a little bit more. Cliff Kingsbury was the coach of the Cardinals. Now he's the offensive coordinator of the formerly known Redskins. Yeah, I'm still an old Redskins guy.
Not letting it go.
Now the Washington Commanders were getting 3.5 and at 50.5. I like that over. I took that over. I hit that over, but that should have been one of my plays.
Oh, of course you hit the ones you didn't post.
Yeah, I know. Luckily, no one's taking my dumb advice. But Cliff Kingsbury was the Cardinals head coach. Okay. Yeah. They fired him because he couldn't win any games. They did everything he asked. They drafted this guy Josh Rosen, number 10, the year before he got there, and then, or maybe it was the year. Sorry. Anyways, and then he said they got the number 1 pick because they played so poorly. And he's like, well, we have a quarterback that we drafted, but I really want to draft Kyler Murray number 1. So they made it happen. They dumped Josh Rosen, who looked like he was a bum, on the dumbest team that would take him. Any idea who that team was?
Nope.
The Miami Dolphins.
Ooh.
Yes, so we bailed them out of their mistake and gave them a 2nd-round pick as a parting gift. So that was awful. And then he's like, I don't understand these guys that do a terrible job, and then they want these revenge games. Yeah. But he did. They threw up a bunch of points against them, and they smoked Arizona. So I don't get a revenge game when you did a bad job. Like, they wanted you to succeed. So, yeah, I don't know. Monday Night Football, what do we got?
We got Titans at Dolphins. That started already. It opened Titans +1 with a total at 36.5.
And what did I take there?
Let's see. You took the bottom. Tyreek Hill over 52.5.
Over 52.5 yards. Tyler Huntley, they signed off the Ravens practice squad. They're bringing him in. He's going to energize this offense. I did take a look. The game is going on right now. Tyreek has 1 reception for 1 yard. So 52 more to go. Reek, you can do it. I don't know what's going on with this team. I didn't like either of these games. You actually picked the next game. So that's Sammy's pick. We'll know tomorrow. What's that game?
Seahawks at Lions, and it's opened up with Seahawks at +4. The total at 47. Yeah. And I believe I took the Seahawks +4.
Yep. Sammy's pick, the Seahawks +4. We'll see how that goes in the next episode. And then the dog of the week. Yeah. My boy here, Dutch. Look at old Dutchy boy.
Dutchy.
My sweet little Dutchy boy. Mm-hmm. I'm nicer to him when I'm away from him. When he's here, I'm like, get away from me, Dutch. Daddy's working. All right. You picked this. What was it?
Yeah, it was Steelers at Colts. I took the Colts +1.5, and it was Colts 27-24.
You did a great job on this pick. I thought it was suspicious, and you nailed it. So when I'm going 1-5, I'm going to do whatever I can to pump up a good victory. That was a great one. Yeah. So, did you watch any of that?
I did not get a chance to watch that game, actually.
Yeah. And sorry to Guinness Keeley for not winning that parlay, and anyone else who I gave a parlay ticket to. Oh, boy. That was over real quick. That was over on the Thursday night Cowboys game.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right. Well, all this losing has got me hungry. Let's get something to eat.
Is this game day food?
Sammy?
Yeah.
It's time for everybody's favorite eating game. Is this game day food?
Yes.
What do we got today,
Well,
Sam?
we've got the Big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme from Taco Bell.
Yeah, so we talked about this earlier, and you were very excited. I like Cheez-Its. I like Taco Bell, even though my friend Dr. Lou says, you're a grown man, stop eating Taco Bell. I'm like, I don't feel good. He's like, what's wrong? I ask him all my medical questions.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, what have you been eating? I'm like, a bunch of Taco Bell. He's like, you're too old for that. Grow up.
I mean, Taco Bell once a week, whatever, you get away with it. But if we're eating it too much like we are,
yeah,
your doctor's going to have a problem.
Yeah. I'm like, why can't you just give me a pill?
Right? And for anybody that is interested, that's a big Cheez-It fan, they do sell the whole Cheez-It.
Wow.
If you would like, you can buy these one at a time if you want.
Ooh, is it salty?
I don't know. I didn't take a bite.
Okay.
I figure if I bite, you won't, so you get first bite.
Okay. Stop the show. After you touched all of that thing? Are you new here?
I so thought you were
There's
going to
no way.
I so knew you were going to call me out for that.
Here. I'm not going to bite it first. Don't worry. Try it, you germaphobe. All right, time to eat.
Cheers.
God damn. Mm-hmm. I do like a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
yeah.
You got to get to the middle of it, but you're definitely tasting the cheese.
The downside is you're right. It's definitely got to get to the middle somehow. I'm going to power my way through.
It's very cheese eccentric. Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I know you've already kind of hinted you like both of these products.
Yeah.
So, because of that, I'm going to score you a little high. I think you gave it 7.2.
It's probably going up for me. I gave it a 6.7.
Okay.
But I think that's maybe low for this.
I think the problem... Well, go ahead. You give me first.
It's pretty good. I think it's coming up. There's enough good stuff in there. The lettuce is crunchy. I put sauce on it. Normally, I like the fire and the mild. I don't like the hot sauce for some reason.
Yeah, fire is definitely better.
You, I think, loved this.
Okay.
I think you absolutely loved it. I was gonna go 8.3. I got you at an 8.2.
7.5.
Wow. Okay.
It's good.
Okay.
And maybe it'll grow on me because maybe the center. I mean, at first I didn't like it. It was mostly just doughy.
It's a lot of tortilla.
And then as I got to the middle, it's mostly Cheez-It, which I do love.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it's good. I wouldn't call it a 9, but it's good.
It's good. I like more of a nacho cheese thing. I think that the Dorito shells on just a taco is an easy 7.6.
That was one of their best ideas they've come up with in the last 10
It's
years.
fantastic. And it's very simple and it's very easy. The Dorito shell on a regular taco, that's game day food all day to me.
All day. You just buy 20 of those for your group and you're good to go.
Yeah, I would eat this. After some beers, you're gonna want a little tortilla.
I do think you're right. I should have gotten some sauce. Would have made it a little bit better.
Yeah, don't worry. I have plenty of sauce. I have plenty of
All right.
sauce. What else do we have?
And then a treat while I was there, I found out they actually sell Baja Blast Gelato.
Okay.
And because you are a germaphobe, I made sure I got 2.
Oh yeah.
Figured you wouldn't want me double dipping with
Do you want me to eat that? They have a spoon in the top of it.
Oh,
That's
shit.
brilliant.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to get the regular spoon, but
I like it.
that's pretty solid to have that on there.
I'm going to try the little spoon.
Now, do you want me to eat this out of your hands, or can I just have it out of the container that it comes in? And then here, I was at a nudist camp all weekend. Here,
Let's share.
eat something that came out of my hands. And I already got, I got plenty of comments on your using my my glasses wipe.
Okay, what's the switch on that?
Everyone's on my side.
Really?
Everyone's on my side.
All right.
Cheers.
Well,
This is a spork. All right. Cheers. Let's try this. I'm not a big sweets guy. I like the savory treats more. I'd rather have an extra taco, but we'll see if this is any good. Baja Blast what?
Baja Blast Gelato.
Okay. So it's the Baja Blast Mountain Dew
Yes.
in
It's
gelato form.
in gelato form. I'm a bit of. I'll give you a hint. I'm a bit of a gelato snob
Yeah.
myself. So I was surprised to see a Taco Bell offer it.
Yeah. That seems more like icy to me.
Exactly. The texture's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're not loving this. You gave it a 5.1.
I actually gave it game day food 6.5.
Okay.
Now, and like I said, I am a snob, but I'm thinking if I'm drunk
Yeah.
after I've eaten 10 tacos,
Yeah.
I would want one of these.
You want to cool it down
I
a little bit.
I would want one of
with
these.
the Baja Blast.
I wouldn't, if I'm out to dinner with family, I'm not going to be like, hey, let's go get that gelato.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to rate it a 4.5. But for game day food, it just made it.
Yeah.
I think you liked it, but not enough for your game day food 6.1.
Yeah, it's 4.7.
You didn't like it at all. Okay.
It's not. For gelato,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more of an icy, slushy kind of thing.
You could tell maybe it was made right, but it's frozen. Like, they don't have the right fridge there to keep gelato at the right consistency.
Yeah.
So
So,
It's
all
all
right. The Cheez-It, the big Cheez-It Crunchwrap Supreme, that hits.
Absolutely.
We're on it. They have better stuff on their menu for game day food though. But we'll like it. And then you qualified the gelato again.
I'm starting to rethink it a little bit. That might be going down.
If I'm eating like ice cream or something like that, like it's got to be really good. Like a Dairy Queen Blizzard. I'm on point.
Super good, yeah.
I'm in.
I'm starting to rethink my 6.5 to be honest with you. I think it's going down.
I don't want to
fast.
regrow. I don't want to fill this thing back up again. So I'm trying to be better. So all right. Well, this has been a fascinating Mexican version. Taco Bell is so authentic, authentically Mexican version of is this game day food? All right, Sammy.
Yeah.
What else is in the news?
Before we get to the news, I got something for you.
Oh boy.
It is an unopened eyeglass wiper.
Oh, Sam.
You bitched at me and I thought you were over the top, but now I'm hearing stories that people agree with you and makes you wonder, like, maybe I'm gross. I thought maybe
Maybe?
I thought you were overdoing it, and I'm like, well, but it's probably because I grew up as a twin. We shared everything.
Yeah,
There
that's
was,
true.
There was just nothing we didn't
You
share.
shared a womb.
We shared a womb. We shared everything. I mean,
Well, I
everything.
appreciate it. It's wrapped.
Yep.
You did touch it, so this is going in a neighbor's garbage can.
The plastic could go in the garbage can. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam.
All right. So
You're
first
errors of your ways.
First up, Hollywood and the NBA are mourning the loss of some of their stars. John Ashton, 76.
Yeah.
Cancer.
Yeah. John Ashton was the first one. I saw it today. Chris Christopherson yesterday. I mean, with Pete Rose, like that just happened.
Yeah.
They say it comes in threes. You always kind of go, who's next? Yeah. So do you know who John Ashton is?
Not by name. I'm sure you'll tell me.
Okay. I will tell you. I'm not going to keep it to you.
Other direction. Yeah.
Other Direction.
Sorry.
So this is him. Do you
Oh
recognize?
yeah. I definitely
That's
remember him.
Taggart from Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah, he was great.
He was great.
Mhm.
He was great. He unfortunately he died from cancer. He was also in Midnight Run. He had a long career. He was a lot of nice tribute. Judge Reinhold was his partner in
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop. I guess they were hanging out like 2 days ago.
Did you watch the most recent Beverly Hills Cop?
I fell asleep 3 times watching it.
Well, you could tell Taggart was having some mobility issues.
Yeah.
He tried hard, but you can tell he was having some issues.
He was slowing down.
Yeah.
What's Judge Reinhold's character in Beverly Hills Cop?
I can't remember his name.
Billy Rosewood.
Billy Rosewood. That's right, Rosewood.
Billy Rosewood.
He was another one was not looking good.
Yeah. He's got a bad reputation for being kind of a prick.
Oh, I didn't know that. He's
Yeah.
not famous enough to be a prick.
I know.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, what was he in? Vice Versa,
Never
where
heard
he
of it.
changed. He had a kid. It was Fred Savage, and it was
Fred
like,
Savage was his kid.
and they switched bodies. It was like a Freaky Friday kind of thing.
Yeah.
They also had one like Father Like Son with Dudley Moore and who is the guy on Growing Pains, the religious guy. Oh,
It's been so long since
son
I've
of a
grown pains. I
bitch.
don't remember.
Somebody's yelling at the
Religious
screen
guy.
right now.
I'm surprised you don't know.
I do, but I'm tired. This
Yeah,
is the last segment of the show. Look it up. Growing Pains. Religious guy. Anyways, his sister was on Full House. She married
What she was.
Kirk Cameron. Nailed it.
There we go.
Boom. Candace Cameron's his sister.
I like the path your brain had to take to get there. But you landed that plane.
I bet people were screaming. The 7 people that watch this are going, Kirk Cameron, you idiot! Idiot! So, yeah, there was another one. Yeah, that was called Like Father, Like Son with Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron. It was better. The Judge Reinhold one was,
That
woo,
sounds bad.
woo, pretty bad. Watch it if you can. Yeah, Chris Christopherson. He was 88. 88. He made it a long time. He dated Janis Joplin.
That's random. I didn't know that.
When Janis died, and I guess he was pretty heartbroken after it. Janis was having a lot of problems with heroin, and he was having a lot of problems with alcohol. And he's like, he said after she died, he's like, I don't think I'll make it till 30. And then he cleaned up his act. He said he just wanted to see his kids. He just, I think you drink and you do drugs and you abuse yourself because something's missing, something's lacking, you're hurting. And then when you see your kids, you're like, well, I got this beautiful thing in my life. Like,
Yeah.
I got to knock this shit out.
Change. But especially like rock stars, you can't do that sober. Traveling the country and performing every night, there's no way you're just going to bed and waking up and doing that again. You're on drugs and alcohol.
It seems like a hard life.
Yeah.
And the inspiration you need for that, to be able to write songs to perform over and over and over again.
Absolutely.
You need some inspiration. You need some release. You need
Right.
some bad habits.
Yep.
Sadly, so that's why no one's ever had like a real Christian rock song. Everybody's like, "Do you love that Christian rock song?" No. They're, they're a little too straight for that.
No.
Rock and roll needs a little bit of vice, a little vice to it. Did you ever see A Star Is Born with Chris Christopherson?
Not the original one.
I never saw that one either. There's been like 4 or 5 of them.
Is there? Oh, okay. Maybe that's probably not even the original one then.
I saw the other. The
Lady Gaga was good.
one. I thought it was good.
She was phenomenal.
She's very good. Bradley Cooper was good in that.
Yep.
This is probably something you saw. The Blade trilogy.
Yeah, he was great in Blade.
I never saw Blade.
That's shocking.
I never saw
can't believe
one
that.
Blade.
It was the first one was so good.
And I like Wesley Snipes
Yeah.
too. I don't know.
That's surprising. You really should. And that one holds. You can watch that now and it's still good.
Yeah. You ever see Payback with Mel Gibson, filmed in
I
Chicago?
saw it once. Yeah. Actually, I think my dad was an extra in that movie or something.
Oh, really?
I think so. He was in a Mel Brooks movie, or not Mel Brooks, Mel Gibson movie that was filmed here.
It was. It was. I liked it. I don't know if it holds up, but Payback was pretty good. I love Mel Gibson. But Chris Christopherson was a country music star as well as an actor, and he was kind of had a legendary life. Little handsome fellow, this guy up here. So he probably liked that we're showing that picture of him. So cheers to you, Chris, Mr. Christopherson.
Oh yeah, that's an attractive looking man.
And this guy, a legend, Mr. Dikembe Mutombo, right here. Love Dikembe. Do you remember Dikembe much?
It's everyone.
A lot of finger wags.
Yeah.
Didn't have much offense. Great defensively. Blocked a lot of shots.
You can't get around the guy.
Tall as hell. But there's a story. So sadly, he passed away at 58 of brain cancer. But he did a lot. He did a lot of charity work. He was from I believe he was from the Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo. I believe, and I know he did a lot of charity work for them. Sent a lot of money over there and did a lot of stuff. He went to Georgetown, played center there. And Alonzo Mourning, who was a teammate of his on the Georgetown team, confirmed this story, this rumor that he would walk into clubs, and I think he was like 7'1". He'd walk into clubs and go, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?" And they called him out. They asked him if he did that on the show Highly Questionable, which I love, and it kind of has inspired certain segments in this show. And he's like, "No, I didn't do that." And then they sprung on Alonzo Mourning. He's like, "How did you hear about that?" And they're like, "Oh, we got it. It's true." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Yeah, he definitely did that." And he's like, and it worked.
Yeah.
He would just go in and goes, "Who wants to sex Mutombo?" And he goes, it really broke the ice fast.
I'm sure people lined up for it.
Hey, if that's what you're into, 7'1" guy from the Congo he's made it easy on you.
Jackpot.
If that's what you want, he's interested. So, yeah. Hopefully, we don't lose any more, people from our childhood.
It sounds like Death had a quota for the month, and and it's just like, you know what, you don't need to make your quota.
Yeah.
Just don't worry about it.
We're good.
It's good.
We've had enough. Probably the next story. It's the last story of the day. What are we watching, Sam?
Well, the Netflix documentary Mr. McMahon premiered right after the taping last week, and we got into it.
Yeah, we got into it. Are you finished?
I finished all 6, yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm on 4. I again, getting old, kind of keep falling asleep.
Yeah.
Anything that's popped out to you?
The thing that got me at first is watching some of these wrestling heroes, the way they aged. I think they look bad, but now they look like my dad, like a dad. But they were like untouchable when I saw them as a kid. So
who's looked the scariest?
McMahon looks bad.
McMahon looks bad. McMahon's old.
Definitely looks bad. I mean, I can't remember the people, but even like Trish Stratus, who's still hot. Don't get me wrong, but she's a mom now.
She's got a different look to her.
Yeah,
but she's still like fitnessy.
Yeah,
she just looks different.
Mm-hmm.
But Trish was always good looking. Mm-hmm. Shawn Michaels looks like he's been drugged. Shawn
Michaels definitely, for sure.
But he admits, he's like, "Yeah, I was drinking and drugging for a long time, and now I found Christ." It's like, but he had a good ride. He admits, he's like, "It was worth it."
Yeah, he did for sure.
It was good. I think Hogan still looks pretty good.
I can't believe he still looks like himself.
Yeah.
Maybe his hairline, but he always had like a receding hairline, so it works.
I think I think the underlying lesson here is steroids aren't that bad for you.
No, I maybe I'll have to get myself some. So maybe my hairline will stay where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe these guys are still alive.
Yeah.
How is that easy on your heart? But all that stuff they were pumping in and doing, drugs and
so I have friends that are on steroids, and a lot of them will say steroids themselves are not dangerous. They
Yeah.
call it, I think, like candy flipping or something. Like when you start putting everything with it, like the fat burner, and you start taking 3-4 things at a time, that's where you supposedly go nuts.
Oh, really?
But
Okay.
steroids itself is just a boost of testosterone. So if you're not nuts to begin with, testosterone won't do that to you.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to work for me.
Right?
You stopped me at not nuts to begin with. I don't need any extra stuff. But again, people are like, you should try drugs. I'm like, I have enough trouble
Yeah.
keeping this together.
Yeah.
I don't need more things. I've seen myself on too many tequilas. It's not pretty. So the children don't need to see old dad's old ways. So steroids are not in my future anytime soon. I'll just keep doing my little workouts.
There you go.
And being happy that I don't fit in a size 48 pants anymore. Way smaller. They weren't that bad. Anyways, yeah, I've been enjoying it. We're almost done. It's a little disjointed because they filmed it years ago, and then they've kind of pieced it together since. They filmed it over a while.
Yeah, it was like 2018 to 2022 was most of the filming.
Yeah, and then a lot of scandals came out during the time, and again, Vince isn't happy with it, but
I mean, you can tell they had to shift because there's no way they could have released this without talking about it.
yeah.
But they do a pretty good job of filtering it in and wrapping it up towards the end with all the scandals, I mean.
Yeah, I was like, after the last show, I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch at least 3 of them. I got a few minutes in and I fell asleep.
It is good. It's if you're a wrestling fan, you will absolutely love it.
This is 45, buddy.
Mhm.
This is 45. Don't rush to 45. I mean, get there, but don't rush to it.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, but Hulk. The stories are good though. We won't spoil anything for you, but he and Hulk Hogan, like I didn't know that he did so much to make the Hulk Hogan character.
There's a lot I learned. I mean, for as much as I watched wrestling
Yeah.
when I was younger, I learned a lot.
It's very worth watching, even if you're not the biggest wrestling fan. It's very interesting. How Vince is a very nurturing, caring guy, and also a psychopath.
and a psychopath.
Yeah.
And a psychopath.
Yeah, he loves the business. He seems to love his children. He even loves his wife, who he's had a lot of. They have an arrangement or something, but he's had a lot of
Extramarital affairs.
and they stick together, and she. I don't know. I don't know what their arrangement is, but they seem to have a very close family, even though they've had a lot of turmoil and issues.
I think that kind of shows it though. I think Vince, if you're in his circle,
Yeah,
treats you like you are the world. But if you're kind of just on the outside of that circle, he doesn't give a fuck about you.
yeah. And Vince likes being in a lot of circles
Yeah,
himself.
he does,
We
yeah.
saw that. All right. On that note, thank you for watching. We will be back for the Thursday episode. We got a very special guest picker. We'll see how Randy did. I mean, tonight's the final pick of his, but I think he might have leapfrogged onto the top spot there. So we'll see. Jackie's not going to be happy about that.
Nope.
So and Eric is still dead last. So dead last. Your twin brother.
That's what you get for getting me kicked out of the stadium.
That's what you get. This is all a ruse to get you back for that.
20 years coming back around, but it finally made it.
Yeah, nice job. Nice job. Take it, Eric, you sucker. All right. Thanks again for watching. Follow us on Instagram at Points Taken Pod, X at Points Taken Pod.
Yep.
Giwi the hell out of people. Hashtag Giwi. And I'm serious. Like, do this. People didn't invite you. They didn't want you there, but they're also like, sorry, you can get to go to our party like some kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Giwi the hell out of them. Make them feel stupid. They're going to be like, what does that mean? And you're like, oh, it was a podcast. So, thanks for watching. Nobody else die.
None.
Nobody.
Sorry.
God.
Not allowed.
Oh, who's... there's so many that I'm worried about. There's too many old people right now.
Well, I think Carter hit 100, so there's some good news.
Jimmy Carter hit 100?
Yeah, he hit 100. So
Good for
there we
him.
go. We got one person that made it.
There's a lot of celebrities that are from our childhood that are just getting too close to the end, and I want them to all stick around. I want my childhood saved.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy. Have a great night. Good luck. I hope the Dolphins win. Probably not going to happen. We'll talk to you on Thursday. See you then.